Today, we're going to talk about blackouts and safety in freediving. And I'm really excited. I'm here with Viktor
Reshetniak.
Okay, I prefer having him pronounce his name because I always do it wrong. So, safety and blackouts. Today, first episode of FREEDIVE LIVE coming up. What's up, Gert from GertLeroy.com. Peace in every breath. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm a freedive instructor. I dive on breath holds. And this channel is all about helping you find peace through freediving. And today, I'm here with Viktor Reshetniak.
Correct.
I say it correctly. We're going to talk about safety and blackouts in freediving. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So Viktor, let's dive into this straight away.
Yeah, let's do it.
I might start this session with a question that is maybe not that easy to answer. Is freediving a safe sport?
Yeah, I would consider it a safe sport. It's always some risks there, but even if you compare it with other sports, I believe it's safe.
Yeah. So there are some safety standards we have to respect, of course. So let's say for people who are not familiar with freediving yet, but they want to start their first course, or they're just starting, could you explain a little bit about what safety for freediving is exactly about and how it is done?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, main rule, and probably you'll hear it all the way if you'll do courses. So if you meet any freedivers, it's never freedive alone. So you always have to dive with a buddy, with a safety. Would be good if it's person who maybe the same level as you are, that understand what you're doing, what kind of risk you have. And of course, it would be good if person trained to do a rescue. So if something happens, person can react correctly. Yeah, and then it's like more rules. We can go in details about how to avoid some bad consequences for when we free dive. It's about breathing. It's about respecting your limits, diving without your limits. But main, I would say, what you can take with you, always remember, never free dive alone.
Yeah. Rule number one, never freedive alone. So you made a good point. This buddy of yours has to be someone that is skilled, because if this person doesn't know what to do in a case of emergency, then it's basically like you're diving alone.
Yeah, at least like this person maybe can call for help, so you're not completely alone. But of course, you want to have a person next to you who can help immediately. For sure, they need to have some skills and knowledge about freediving.
Yeah. So you talked about a rescue. So what is there to be rescued? What can go wrong in freediving?
Yeah, so main risk in freediving, we can have low level of oxygen in our body because we hold our breath, so at some point it can be deficit of oxygen. And it can be LMC, what we call loss of motor control, and can be blackout. Yeah, so in first case with LMC, person still conscious, but they already need some support and some help. Blackout, when freediver become unconscious, and for sure it's more serious things. And then it's some rescue protocol, rescue procedures that you have to follow to make it like safe and avoid even worse conditions for freediver, for blackout.
So this rescue procedure, this surface protocol procedure, what exactly is that?
Yeah, like if you talk about blackout, for sure you want to, if it's happened on the surface, you have to support freediver, avoid dropping his airways in the water. You want to remove all facial equipment. It can be mask, nose clip, goggles.
So your diver can breathe freely.
So airways as nose and mouth can be open and like more skin on receptors on the face. Then you want to do what we call tap blow talk. So it's like you want to do some manual like touching the face on the skin on the face, blowing air on the face, and talk.
Why is that? If you blow air,
it simulates some reflex for breathing as well. So it means that person out of water and they can start breathing. So it's reflectory things. And then you can talk in terms of like just calling the name, and it maybe will help to wake up the person faster.
Yeah. So these are rescue procedures we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when your diver is in trouble.
Yeah.
So when he either blacked out or when he had an LMC on the surface. What is the the reason for this? How can it happen? Why does a freediver get in trouble actually?
Yeah, it's quite a few reasons for LMC or blackout. I would say most common it's mistakes that people do while they breathe in. So it can be hyperventilation, over breathing before the dive. It can be bad recovery breathing after the dive. For sure, big influence and like big impact and big reason for LMC or blackouts is stress.
Yes.
So people just stressed in the water, they're not familiar with the environment, with all routine.
That's probably something that divers underestimate is the effect of stress on how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for beginners, you can be stressed unexpectedly. So maybe you see yourself as like confident, but in the water it can change quite fast.
Yeah.
In terms of like being in open water and diving deep. For sure, it's like for maybe for spare fishers or even for beginner snorkelers, it can be overweighting, so people take too much weights on their weight belt.
Yeah.
It can be just bad technique, swimming technique, not being efficient, not being relaxed in the water. Yeah, it can be problems with equipment. So it's complex thing in terms of what can lead you, what can cause a blackout or LMC. But I would say most common reason it's hyperinflation and bad recovery breathing, stress that you want to work on and you want to know about it.
So the best way to avoid troubles is to have a decent education, of course, in freediving and knowing what you are doing.
Yeah, for sure. Like I would recommend to do courses if you're interested in freediving. Try to find instructor next to you or wherever you travel, and you'll know it faster and easier and safe environment, and it will be proper way to learn freediving. So courses, I believe you can find it pretty much everywhere now. It's a lot of instructors and it's quite easy to find it.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about safety, because safety is not the same as a rescue. Sometimes people are confused about this. A rescue is when something goes wrong and you rescue your diver, but safety is basically when everything goes well.
Yeah.
But you still need your buddy, of course. You're always diving with a buddy. So can you explain a little bit about the system of one up and one down?
Yeah, so as we said before, you always want to dive with a buddy. It's actually safety. And you want to watch each other. So if someone diving, your buddy should watch you and then you change roles. One up, one down system, it means that you have to meet your diver, your freediver as a safety, on his way up. So you want to meet him at some depths, let's say third of his depths that he's diving. Let's say he's going to 30-meter dive, you want to meet him at 10. And follow him to the surface, just observing how he looks in terms of body language and movement.
So what does he look for? Is there anything specific you can see as a safety diver?
Yeah, for sure, like first sign of blackouts is exhalation. So you have to act, you have to do rescue if you see your body exhaling.
So as a freediver, you don't exhale underwater?
Yeah, we don't exhale at all. So you have to hold your breath till you break the surface. So you start your dive, you took your last breath, and then you breathe in on the surface after the dive.
So if a diver exhales underwater, that is most likely a sign of trouble.
Yes. Then of course it's uncoordination in movement or stop moving. You can look at the face. It's good recommendation to have an eye contact, so you want to see face of your body, and for sure you can recognize if you're a freediver like relaxed and calm or he is stressed.
How do you see that? How do you see
it's kind of on eyes, like again, if the person looks naturally, it's fine, but if they like confused and shocked, maybe it can be.
So it's about body language.
Okay. Of course, you want to know each other, behavior, and underwater, again, you want to dive maybe with your friends who you know very well, or skilled freedivers who you can trust.
Yeah, that's very important. You have to trust the people you dive with. You have to know that they are capable of rescuing you in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And I think if you have that trust, if you know who you are diving with, then it's so much more relaxing, of course, because you know you're safe. basically nothing can happen if you know that your body can.
Quite often we can dive with people we don't know at all. We can like meet first time, and again another reference for you how you can understand if they're skilled is like level of the education, yeah, like how, like what level of courses they did, maybe how deep they dive in. So of course again it's we have a link to this educational system.
Yes, yes. Okay, cool. What about freediving competitions? I suppose the safety measures in competitions are a little bit more elevated than in courses. In courses, people dive to 10, 20, but in competitions, we take it a little bit deeper, of course. Is there anything that changes there?
Yeah, for sure it's more serious, and normally it's like well-trained safeties on competitions. For sure people, freedivers, athletes can push themselves, and sometimes it happens that they have LMC or blackout. So it's again complex systems there. It includes safety on the surface, even like organizers and judges and doctors involved, and of course safeties in the water do like main job.
So you have more than one safety?
Yeah, normally you have, for deep dives, you can have 2 or 3 even safeties supporting athlete on the way up. It's including counterballast system, so of course it's more serious preparation.
The counterballast system is a system?
It's like retrieval system that can bring, let's say, freediver in trouble to the surface very fast.
And we also have a scooter safety?
Yeah, scooters now, we have sonars, so again it includes some devices on the surface and underwater. So it's become more technical, and I believe it brings more safety in competitions.
Okay, cool. I guess that is the answer for my initial question, if freediving is a safe sport.
Yeah, again, even if you talk about competitive freediving, when people diving very deep and pushing themselves, I believe we don't have like bad accidents on competitions, and it's quite safe. I believe it's even more safe on competitions than on casual dives, because everything become very strict.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to wrap this up, this session. Thank you so much,
Thank
Viktor.
you,
If you would have one advice for people who are starting, because you're a national record holder for Ukraine now, you started once.
Yeah.
So if you go back to that time when you started, what were your biggest problems maybe, and what would be the advice that you give now to starting freedivers?
Yeah, first advice, take a course. Find experienced instructor, find a like respected school, and take a course, and they will explain you everything. If you don't have a chance so far, at least remember, never freedive alone. So always have a buddy with you.
Okay guys, you hear it, never freedive alone. So that's it. If you have an idea for a new video in this channel, let me know in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up and do subscribe to this channel.
Thank you.
Peace in every breath.